All right, let's talk Texas Longhorns. Look, I'm kind of wearing burnt orange here a little bit, and it's time to talk about this Longhorns program that is building off of some really solid momentum. I know another disappointing playoff finish, but the way they handled the SEC, they're in a strong position for the future just by the product on the field. And guess what, folks? It's Arch Manning time. It's time to be excited, but lost in all that big noise and energy and momentum and things like that, Manning, Sarkisian, there's been a really solid job, really an incredible job by the Longhorns coaching staff replenishing this roster. We've got a great update for you Texas fans, but first, I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, the Longhorns, obviously, Sark says no to the NFL. I'm going to be in Austin. Arch Manning is about to take over the college football world. But despite all of those headline grabbing news, the Longhorns have just dominated the recruiting game the way no one has noticed. They've done a heck of a job. Let's pull up this report courtesy of SI.com. After 2 seasons ending in the college football playoff semifinal, the Texas Longhorns look to go further, obviously. And with the upcoming freshman class joining the team, they might just do so. The Texas 2025 recruiting class was named the best in the country per the finalized rankings from Rivals.com. With 25 commits, the future Longhorns averaged 3.96 stars, tied with Ohio State and LSU. However, the Horns hold more five-star commits in these two, with 4 top-ranked players, 16 4 stars, and 5 3 stars. Texas solidified itself as the best in the nation. Joining the Longhorns will be 5-star defensive tackle Justice Terry, 5-star wide receiver Kalik Lockett, 5-star defensive end Lance Jackson, and 5-star safety Jonah Williams. Texas also signed the nation's top athlete in Michael Terry III. All right, long list of names there. Great list of names there. Texas looks ready to take a huge step, maybe make a run at a national title first time since the Vince Young days. They've got the squad to do it, or they certainly will shortly. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this, but Texas fans, you guys first in the comment section below. Of all the freshmen coming into the fold, who's the one guy you're excited to see make an early impact for this Longhorns team? Is it Terry? Is it Lockett? Is there any of these other guys? Let us know in the comment section below who you're really excited to see as a freshman coming in. Can't wait to hear from you guys. But Mize, I will hand it over to you now. What are your thoughts on all things Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, Nick, I think this is great news for the Longhorns, getting really a solid recruiting class, probably as good as you could possibly get. I think this is exactly what they need. Is because you said they come in to the SEC and they look like the best team in the SEC. Obviously, there's some other teams, Oregon's out there, Ohio State's out there that look really good. They're not in the SEC right now. Texas in the SEC, probably one of the most dominant moves I've seen by a team to come into another division, another conference, and really do what they did. I think this is really, really good for Texas. But you'll talk about early start. They're going to need it. They need this firepower because next season, right off the gate, it's going to be brutal. Ohio State, first game of the season on the 30th. That's going to be a tough matchup for Texas. But I'm really glad they have so many young, great guys on this team. And like you said, it is Arch Manning time. This is the time for Texas. I honestly thought that Texas may have had a little bit of a better chance in their college football playoff game if Arch Manning was in. He seems a little bit more explosive at times, seems to be able to do a little more with his legs. I really like what he brings to the table, but now he's bided his time. He's ready to go. And with all of this elite talent Texas has brought in, I think they're very, very well primed to make a deep college football playoff push. I would be stunned if they don't make it to the championship game this time around, if not win the whole dang thing. I think Texas is in a really good spot after having one of the best recruiting classes in the country, the best recruiting class in the country. They are set up with the guys they already have on this team to make a really, really good run this season.
Credit to Ohio State that won the national title. Credit to Notre Dame, right? Great season. The Oregon Ducks out west are phenomenal. But the reality is, everyone knows that the college football is dominated by the new SEC. It's dominated by the South. It's dominated by Texas, the state of Texas. And obviously, University of Texas plays a huge part in that. And the way you win consistently in college football is if you dominate the state of Texas and the Southeast in recruiting. Nick Saban went to Tuscaloosa and he changed the program overnight to being Alabama underperforming to a recruiting powerhouse, and they became one of the great dynasties in American sports history. Since Nick Saban left, the baton was seemingly handed, to Kirby Smart over at the University of Georgia. And Smart obviously has done a lot of great things. This season was another great season for Georgia. But the reality is, Steve Sarkisian and his recruiting staff, what they've done at Texas, for a long time, a lot of people thought, okay, Smart 1A now in the SEC. Saban's gone. Everyone else is playing for number two, right? Smart is the guy. George is the guy. It doesn't feel that way right now. It feels like Texas has leaked right equal to Georgia, and honestly, might be surpassing them with the success they're having in the recruiting department. We all get excited about how these big rivalry games and who's get the big transfers and all this kind of stuff. The headline grabbing moves, NIL money, hiring coaches, firing coaches, new assistants, all that kind of stuff. The reality is the greatest predictor of long-term success in college football is the recruiting game. It's the way it has always been. It's the way it is today. And until college football radically changes even more, it's the way it's always going to be. The better you do in recruiting, the better you are set up for long-term success. And right now, Texas has not only met Georgia in the recruiting department, the heir to Alabama's throne atop of the SEC, they've surpassed them, according to this report. That should send a powerful message to the rest of the country, because Texas, obviously being the program that it has with its history, its money, all the things that make the University of Texas at Austin just a phenomenal football program, there's not going to be any force that can stop them in the SEC. Look, I think Alabama's going to be okay. Georgia's going to be good. Carolina, Florida, right? Oklahoma maybe will eventually turn around. LSU. There's a lot of great football in the SEC. Obviously, Tennessee, right? You can go on and on and on. But if Texas can recruit like this consistently year in and year out, and Sark continues to build this momentum, there is nothing that will stop this program. This was an incredible move by the Texas Longhorns, winning the recruiting game after another disappointing playoff finish. They're 100% focused on long-term success. Obviously, they want to win in the short term, but they are building not a program to be great in 2025 or 2026. They're building a program to be great for the next 2 decades. That's what Sark is building here, and it's going to be one heck of a thing to watch him and Kirby Smart duke it out. They're battling right now. Georgia's not number one anymore. It's Texas and Georgia. Who's going to win in the SEC? And right now, based on the recruiting rankings, it's Texas.